A big one on tap in moments. One last bit of business before we send you out to Joe and Tim in San Francisco. Can we get a little time on the clock? We have a little opportunity here. 45 seconds to answer your tweets. Closing time. First one is for Harold. If the Cards win the NLCS, do they win the whole thing?
That's too early for that. Oh, well. Okay, here's what I think. If it's the Yankees, yes. If it's the Tigers, they got their hands full.
All right, next one is for Eric. Should the freak, Tim Lincecum, be back in the rotation?
Absolutely. If he doesn't throw tonight, he throws in Game 4. If he throws tonight, you put him in Game 5.
Next one is for AJ.
I'm
Chris
scared.
Carpenter, Ryan Vogelsong. Who goes deeper tonight?
Chris Carpenter, only because when I see him this winter, if I don't pick him, he's going to kill me. So
What great analysis.
he will wear me out if I do not pick him, yes.
Here's another chance for him to wear you out then as we run out of time on closing time. We're going to flip it and ask you guys to actually pick a winner tonight, something we did not do for Game 1. Harold, who wins Game 2 tonight?
I got the Cardinals. They're rolling right now, man. They're tough to beat. I got the Cards.
I got to go with the Giants. There's no way they lose 4 in a row at home. No way.
Okay.
I agree. Although Carp will pitch well, I think the Giants find a way to get this done. Buster Posey finally gets some hits. The lineup gets some hits. And that atmosphere in San Francisco is finally going to give them some energy.
Did you say Carp is going to pitch well?
Of course.
You're going to see him in the offseason.
That's right. I don't want to hear about it. That's right.
You pitched well, but your team lost.
That's noting that no team has ever come back after losing the first 2 games of an LCS in the 7-game format at home to win the series. So by that definition, it's a very, very big night for the Giants indeed.
That means we're looking at a Cardinals-Tiger World Series, if that's the case.
If the Giants lose, which you guys
Giants have to win. You can't lose tonight, then go to St. Louis, and then come back to a place you haven't won yet.
If they lose tonight, they're done.
Game 2 of the National League Championship Series. Let's send you out to Joe Buck in San Francisco.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. They are making noise again here tonight, and we are moments away from the start of game number 2 of the 2012 National League Championship Series. It's yours tonight on Fox, the Cardinals and the Giants. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. Tim McCarver is coming right up. It didn't look like it would turn into much of a game last night when the Cardinals jumped out to a 6-0 lead. They got 4 runs in the top of the 4th inning, but the Giants came back with 4 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. This crowd went crazy. However, the Cardinal bullpen outstanding. The Giants bullpen outstanding. And as Tim joins me on camera, that's what we saw last night. 1 game is in the books. What are we going to see, in your opinion, the rest of this series?
Well, last night was the first time in LCS history that neither pitcher made it through the 4th inning. The bullpens took over, and they were terrific. Only 2 hits allowed by the Cardinals, none by the Giants, and I think that sets the tone of the series. I believe in every game. I don't believe the starting pitchers are going to go long. I think the bullpens are going to determine the outcome of this LCS.
We shall see tonight for the Cardinals. Chris Carpenter. He is a battle-tested postseason starter for St. Louis. On the other side, Ryan Vogelsong gets the ball in a game the Giants need to win. Because right now they haven't given the fans at AT&T Park much to cheer about this postseason tonight. They hope to heed Marco Scudero's rallying cry.
Vamos, pelea, pelea, vamos!
The Giants are motivated to win their first game at home this postseason. Last night they rallied, but lost Game 1 to the Cardinals. It doesn't get any easier tonight against postseason ace Chris Carpenter. It's Game 2 of the NLCS, next on Fox. Tonight's game is sponsored by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV. And by MasterCard, proud supporter of Stand Up to Cancer. That's MasterCard. That's priceless. So's that picture. How beautiful is that shot from up above? The weather could not be better. The starting lineup for the Cardinals brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. John Jay leads off. He's in center. Same look. Carlos Beltran bats second. Matt Holliday in left. Alan Craig cleans up. Yadier Molina, David Freese, Daniel Descalso, who's been a hero for the Cardinals. Same for Cosma. He bats in the 8th spot. Chris Carpenter pitching and batting ninth. Opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Glad you're with us tonight on Fox. We'll have a travel day tomorrow and then resume in St. Louis Wednesday, Game 3. And there are the numbers from the Game 3 start in Cincinnati for Vogelsong. Best effort, really, the Giants have had out of their rotation so far this postseason. Strike one underway on a Monday night. John Jay, see the numbers, 1 for 5 in Game 1. Hit .305 during the regular season and played a great center field. He shoots one into center. Fighting the sun is Pagan. Nice play.
Well, I'll say that was a great play by Pagan. He did not get a good jump on it. Sunglasses down. That ball coming out of the shadows into the sun. Very nice.
And Beltran digs in. You weren't with us last night. Talked about Beltran being traded here last July. Giants giving up Zach Wheeler, their top pitching prospect, to get him. He was nicked up when he came to the Giants and ended up hitting pretty well. Got into the open market as a free agent, signed a 2-year deal with St. Louis, and had a big season. Hit 32 home runs. Took a strike. Vogelsong has some story. That's over but low, ball one.
You talk about a travel day tomorrow. He has traveled everywhere. He is literally a guy who has taken the road well traveled.
You see Beltran, who went deep last night with his 14 career postseason home runs. In the hold here, 1-2. Vogelsong, the 35-year-old right-hander, is signed through next year. And that's rare for him. He knows where he'll be next season. He's been in 10 minor league cities: San Francisco, Pittsburgh, Japan, Venezuela, over 14 pro seasons. And he has learned how to pitch instead of trying to power through every fastball. His 1-2. Fastball high, 2-2.
Ryan has certainly earned his way to the big leagues. Initially with San Francisco, then Pittsburgh. Actually, 2 different Japanese cities, Hanshin and Orix. And here he is back in the big leagues doing well. An all-star for the first time last year.
The 2-2 outside, and that's the pitch in the area of the plate. When we talked to Beltran, he's expecting to get deliveries from Vogelsong. He thinks he's going to stay away from Beltran, change speeds on him, and if he comes inside, Beltran will do his best with it.
The idea is to hit the ball back to the middle.
It's a 1-out walk.
Scouting report on Vogelsong, as we said, a long road to October. 2011, the breakout year, player of the year on the Giants, and an all-star for the first time.
Here's Matt Holliday. Holliday had a hit last night in 4 trips, 7 out of 28 so far during the postseason, 1 home run. Mike Matheny has used the same lineup every game this postseason. That misses. A bit low, I guess, ball 1. Matheny, like Bochy, 2 former catchers who made their mark while playing in the big leagues and I think his managers like to let the guys just go play. They can try to tinker with too much. Good fastball. Strike one.
General rule of thumb is when a pitcher is behind the hitter, he stays away. When he's ahead of the hitter, that's the time he can come inside. We talked about it a number of times last night.
Buster Posey flashes the signs with a 1-1 count. Ball 2.
I think he's using the last sign. He gave the fastball inside. That was the last sign he put down. And that fastball missed inside to Holiday. So even with a guy on first, Buster Posey giving a sequence of signs, not just one, as most catchers do. Last sign. Fastball away, shook it off, fastball inside.
Here's a 2-1. Ripped into left. That ball will get down for a base hit. It's 2 on, 1 out, a walk and a single. And the Cardinals have 2 on for Alan Craig. Talk about Vogelsong and his trip to this point. He started with the Giants. It was a 5th-round pick. He was traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was in Japan, 2 different cities, as Tim mentioned. Came back to the Giants, signed as a minor league free agent in 2010 and 11. Bruce Bochy said he pitched so well last year during the spring that he wanted to take him to the big league club. They stayed with the starters that won it all for them in 2010. Here's a chop to short, going to be tough to turn 2. First and third, 2 out.
Matt Holliday is one of the toughest sliders in the National League. On a high chopper like that, that gave him time to get down on top of Marco Scutaro. He hit him very hard. And Bruce Bochy will be out to check on his star second baseman. Without Scutaro, what would the Giants be?
Ooh. Going all the way across the bag and taking out the left leg, which was pinned underneath the body of Holiday.
A lot of guys. Boy, that was a crushing takeout right there. But a lot of second basemen who determine whether it's clean or not is he over the bag when he makes contact, or is he in front of the bag? If he's in front of the bag, they can't complain. Over the bag, they can complain. And Holiday over the bag to take out Scutaro.
Close at first. Craig running.
Yeah.
Amazing that Scutaro could get anything on the throw. They almost turned the double play, and thankfully Scutaro appears to be all right, at least going to try and continue. But that was, I mean, the slide started at the bag, and by the time the body of Holiday was touching something other than air, it was the leg of Marco Scutaro, and it looked like they got the call right at first base.
First base umpire Bill Miller made the right call.
So first and third, 2 out. Vogelsong trying to get out of this first inning without giving up a run, and that's up to Yadier Molina at the moment.
Normally on a high chopper like that, you have no chance to turn a double play. I'm surprised it was close at first.
Ball 1 high. Beltran, who got on with a walk. Holiday a base hit to left, and Craig is on after the force out. Thankfully, Scutaro's okay at second base. Scutaro is such a valuable part of this team since they picked him up from Colorado. That is foul. 1 ball, 1 strike as Molina almost put that one between Brandon Belt and the bag. Chris Guccione is the home plate umpire, with Bill Miller at first, Greg Gibson at second, Ted Barrett at third, Jerry Lane in left, and the crew chief who worked the plate last night, Gary Darling in right. Here's a 1-1. Slow chopper. Crawford with Molina running. Gets his man. Cardinals put 2 on. Lead 2 aboard. Scudero hanging tough. Able to continue. After a half, no score in San Francisco. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. By State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And by Share Everything. It's the plan that revolves around you, only from Verizon. Give you a look at the starting lineup for the Giants, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Same look for the Giants. Bochy's not tinkering with it either. Pagan leads it off in center, then Scudero. Pablo Sandoval, Buster Posey, the likely MVP, then Hunter Pence in right, Brandon Belt at first, Gregor Blanco in left, Brandon Crawford the shortstop, and Vogelsong pitching and batting ninth. That group against Chris Carpenter, who is 10-2 in his career during the postseason.
And here it is in October, and it's only Chris's 5th start of the year. Few rivals for big game and guts.
He proved that last year when the Cardinals won it all. There's a strike. Leadoff hitter is Pagan. Carpenter was on the mound when the Cardinals clinched their playoff spot in Houston, capping off that 23-9 finish to the regular season that won them the wild card over Atlanta. Pagan with an 0-1 count. Breaking ball floats away. Then Carpenter was on the mound in Game 5 of the division series. He beat his buddy Roy Halladay of the Phillies. He went 2-0 during the World Series, including a Game 7 win on short rest. Good breaking ball there, and it's 1-2. Also got a victory last year in the NLCS against Milwaukee.
I think Chris would even smile about that. It's a long rest now, this being only his 5th start of the year.
Here's the 1-2. That is launched into right. Back at the track. Giants take the lead. Home run Pagan. 1-0 San Francisco.
What did Bruce Bochy tell us the first thing about Chris Carpenter tonight? Make him get the ball up. Don't swing at the ball down in the strike zone. Well, the first batter, Angel Pagan, got his wish. A high fastball to put the Giants in front.
Now Scudero takes a strike. It's the first time the Giants have had the lead here at home during this postseason as they play their 4th home postseason game. That's a base hit. Scudero is on after surviving that vicious slide by Matt Holliday. Back to the home run.
Full extension. A salute to the Cardinals. That was interesting.
Here's Sandoval. Nobody out, one on after the hit by Scudero. Pablo 0 for 3 last night. Strike one. So why is this only the 5th start of the season for Chris Carpenter? Carpenter had compression of nerves that ran up his right arm, up into his neck, and at times made his face numb during the earlier part of the season. So he had a surgery to take a rib out and alleviate that pressure. They also took muscles out of his neck. Kept telling Mike Matheny, don't count me out. Nobody expected him to get back into this position where he could be on the mound for 2 starts, 3 starts in the regular season, 2 in the postseason. But every time he'd go out to throw, he came back and told Matheny, don't count me out.
And Mike believed him.
So here he is in his 1-1 pitch to Sandoval. It's popped up. Left side for David Freese. 1 out. Give it to Ford. Keys to the game as we play here in the bottom of the 1st.
Cardinals playing with house money with their career ace. And the Giants need to reverse the trend. They've done something about that here in the 1st inning. The home run by Pagan and the single by Scudero.
You wonder how that slide and that play at second base will play out the rest of this game.
I was thinking the same thing. Was that the reason that Pagan gave the salute to the Cardinal dugout?
I don't know if he did it to the Cardinals or if he did it to his group on.
Oh, he did it to his.
I think it was rounding third.
All right.
But you think there might be some lingering retaliation for that slide at second base?
I got my dugouts mixed up. So. Yeah, I think there could be, yes. And that, I mean, I think that instills some bitterness in this game, too. We'll see. As we said, you know, second basemen in particular, they're so vulnerable to plays like that. When they think it's all right, and, you know, however tough it may be, to slide before you get to the bag. The determining factor was Holliday slid behind the bag, and second basemen do not consider that a clean play.
Good tailing fastball at 91. And the count 2-1 on Buster Posey. We've seen those wide eyes of that guy, Hunter Pence, who's on deck giving his fiery pregame speeches. We talked to Hunter about it before the game. He said he really doesn't care to do it anymore, but because baseball players are so superstitious, they make him give that little pep talk in the dugout before they take the field. That misses the outside corner, 3-1.
Not only is Chris Carpenter up in the early going, he's not throwing the ball hard. He's about 4 miles per hour slower than he normally gets it up.
Part of his Arsenal has been compromised by that surgery and a lack of work. His velocity is down as Posey pops it up. Right side for Alan Craig. 2 out. Give you a look at the defense for the Cardinals. And it's the same group with Holiday in left, John Jay in center, and Beltran in right. Around the infield, Freese, Cosma, Descalso, and Alan Craig, who just made that last put out. Yadier Molina and Chris Carpenter in the middle of it. Here's Pence. Does not have an RBI this postseason. Longtime Houston Astro, traded to the Phillies last year, traded to the Giants this year. And that really was the focus of that pregame speech he gave before Game 3. We talked about it with him for a long time tonight. When the Giants were down 2-0 in Cincinnati, he talked about how it felt last year when his Phillies were eliminated at home by Chris Carpenter and the Cardinals. Meanwhile, you've got Hunter Pence talking to Pregame before his first at bat. So he's still looking for meaningful hits, but he's some kind of guru over on the bench.
Whatever he told Pregame, it worked.
Here's the 1-1. 2-1. Runner at first is Scudero. 2 out, 2-1. 3-1. On deck is the left-handed hitting Brandon Belt.
He's not throwing hard. He's missing his spots. A second 3-1 count. He had 3-1 on Posey. Posey missed it. And now 3-1 on Hunter Pence.
Carpenter, a Game 3 winner during the division series in D.C. Here's a 3-1. Full count, and that means Scudero will go. And you can see during the postseason, it takes him an inning to settle in.
We talked about it last night in Game 7 of last year's World Series. Texas scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning.
Runner goes, ball 4 inside. And this is turning into a long first inning for Chris Carpenter. That's Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach for St. Louis, taking over for Dave Duncan last year. Dave Duncan started this year. He's listed in the Cardinals media guide as their pitching coach, but he is finished for now, and Lilliquist has done a nice job, according to Mike Matheny, in carrying on what this group has learned over the years from Duncan.
Regardless of your reputation, these are ideal hitting situations for the Giants. Carpenter struggling to find the corners. You got a break there.
Yeah, that was a borderline pitch that he got. That's the pitch that missed inside for ball 4 to Pence. As you look at the delivery and the force on that arm. As that breaking ball goes around the strike zone, it's 1-1. That's Vogelsong wondering how big this first inning can be. Started with a home run, then a hit, now a 2-out walk. The 1-1. Wouldn't offer at it, dropped low, ball 2.
Vogelsong probably saying to his lineup, guys, take all the time you need.
Pacing in the dugout, getting this first NLCS start in his career. That's in at the knees. Belt didn't like the call, and instead of 3-1, it's 2-2.
Belt thought that was low. He may have had a case. So both strikes that were called, the high fastball and the low fastball, were questionable. Home plate umpire Chris Guccione.
Now the 2-2. Broken bat. Descalso gets the out. It's a one-run inning. A look at the eyes of Angel Pagan, who has given the Giants their first lead at home this postseason. 1-0 San Francisco. David Freese leads it off for St. Louis in the second. Strike one from Ryan Vogelsong. Freese hit a two-run shot last night. 6th career postseason home run. Last year's NLCS MVP. The Cardinals beat Milwaukee. That's down and away from Vogelsong, who allowed a walk and a hit in the first. Freese, then Descalso, then Cosmo. Here's a 1-1. Just missed. Cardinals finished the season 9 games behind Cincinnati, 2 games up on LA. For that second wild card spot, Mike Matheny's first year as a manager, he saw Lance Berkman go down with an injury. He lost his shortstop Rafael Furcal. Here's a fly ball into right. Back is Pence, and he's got it on the track. And by way of pictures and tweets and maybe music, yeah, there's music on it. Here you go. They lose Tony La Russa, who hung it up at the end of October. Albert Pujols goes to the Angels. Matheny manager, they signed Beltran. Jason Mott ends up saving 42 games. And they defeated the team with the best record in the divisional series for the second year in a row as they got by Washington. There's Mott, who got the save last night. Last year it was a defeat of the Phillies in 5 games. That series ending in Philadelphia. Here's an 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Descalso last night had 2 hits, and as we talked about during the pregame, made that terrific diving stop to his right to keep the bottom of the 4th inning just a 4-run frame, keep a 2-run lead with a man in scoring position, and the Cardinals ended up shutting out the Giants the rest of the way and won it 6-4.
At the time, the Cardinals were up by 2. There were 2 outs, runners on at first and second. As Descalso made the play going to Cosmo. Had that ball gotten through at 6-5, you don't know what might happen for the rest of the game. A 1-run lead.
Counts 1-2 from Vogelsong. 2-2. The steady Bruce Bochy.
He's all of that.
Not much gets him rattled. The 2-2. 2 out. And the first strikeout of the night for Vogelsong.
Good tailing fastball. That's a 2-seam fastball. Thrown to a left-handed hitter. It goes away from him. Good pitch.
It'll bring in Pete Kozma, who even when he doesn't get a hit usually finds a line drive somewhere during the course of the game. He's been getting good swings. He's been productive even with just his 5 hits. He's driven in 6. He's hit a home run. He can run. For the most part, has played a good shortstop. Here's the 0-1. Vogelsong brought his good stuff with him to the park tonight.
That was a good curveball, freezing Cosmo.
Guccione was not tempted to excite this crowd on a pitch that missed outside. Not by much.
Funny with the count 0-2. Vogelsong meant to throw a ball there. Not a strike.
Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball drops low.
When you're ahead as a pitcher, you can tease the hitter. When you're behind, you have to come to him.
Breaking ball is up. Full count. I can't get a feel yet for what kind of strike zone we're going to witness here tonight. I don't think Bochy has that feel yet either.
I think it's expanded so far with Chris Guccione.
Here's a 3-2. A 2-out walk. And if nothing else, that allows St. Louis to clear their pitcher here in the second. Second walk by Vogelsong, and Carpenter, who had 2 hits in Game 3 in D.C., including a double high off the wall against Edwin Jackson, steps in. I don't know if you can hear it at home, but whoever's yelling at the umpire back there said, now have a bigger strike zone. This guy's 6'8". It's actually listed at 6'6", Carpenter, 230.
You have younger ears than I do.
At least I think that's what it said. Here's a 1-0. Strike one. Joe Carpenter, our audio wizard, is going to have to pay attention to that guy down there. He's too audible. The 1-1 in the air to left center field. That ball's going to get down and tie this game. Carpenter's got a pair of postseason doubles, and this one makes it 1-1 in the second. So a walk with 2 out to the number 8 hitter, and Carpenter plugs the gap in left center.
Might be the best offensive performance over 2 games in Carpenter's career. 2 hits, single and double against Washington. And now a big hit to drive in the first run for the Cardinals to tie it.
And that's their little sign that the pitching staff does to one another. Forearm up. And it's a runner at second, 2 out for John Jay as the Cardinals have tied it. Jay, who flied to center and was robbed of an extra base hit on a terrific catch by Angel Pagan, who then homered moments later. He's 0 for 1, and there's Chris Carpenter at second. The 0-1 on the outside corner, strike 2. With 2 out, Jay fouls it.
You mentioned John Jay hit 305 this year. He had 379 in St. Louis and 217 on the road. It's a quirky game sometimes.
Last night, though, had a big hit in the 4th inning.
He did.
For an RBI with 2 out, and then he scored on the home run by Beltran in the 4-run 4th. That's popped up. Shallow left. Blanco puts it away. But Chris Carpenter, who will try to show you how good his arm is tonight, doubles home the tying run with Alcatraz in the distance on a beautiful night, tied in Game 2. Pregame on Fox is sponsored by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. The beauty of this ballpark is that the higher your seat, the better view you get. And players who never get up into the upper deck or even the mid deck of the stadium don't know how beautiful it is.
That's true, because they look at the park like they look at most ballparks, from field level.
But from where we sit, there's no place prettier than this.
Right there. Beautiful. Oakland in the background.
Ranger Blanco is up. Count is 0-2. What a year for the A's.
Oh.
Bob Melvin and that group, they were so fun to watch, and they pushed the Tigers to 5 games, losing to Justin Verlander. But they got everybody excited across the bay. Here's the 0-2. Good breaking ball, but it's ball 1.
Both Bay teams won 94 games this year. There's only been one World Series featuring both San Francisco and Oakland. That was in 1989, the Earthquake World Series.
Here's a fly ball to center. John Jay puts it away. Back in the first inning, remember that takeout slide by Matt Holliday of Marco Scutaro. And for more on that, we go down to the dugout and Aaron Andrews.
And Joe, every time Marco has come here to the dugout, he's had the trainers look at his left side. We kind of thought it was his knee, but they're looking at his rib cage all the way down to his hip. You could see him out on the field. He was moving his leg around in the hip. They actually just took him back into the training room to have him looked at. We'll update you as soon as we find out what's going on.
All right, Aaron, thank you. And that's a guy they cannot afford to lose. They waited around for Freddie Sanchez to get healthy. He never did come around, their number 2 hitter and second baseman, so they went out and got Scutaro, and he lit it up. Here's Brandon Crawford with a ground out to second, 2 away here in the second.
The thing about that play around the bag is second basemen cannot protect themselves. Shortstops can. Shortstops can lower a guy who's trying to take him out with the throw. He can drop down on the throw, and if the guy doesn't get down, he'll hit him. It's that simple. That's how a shortstop protects himself. But second basemen can't do that. They're vulnerable, and that showed in the first inning.
Vogelsong is 5 for 54. That's what he was during the regular season, so not a ton of hits. But he stands up there like he knows what to do, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Two out after a fly ball to center, a ground out by Crawford. Now 2-1 on Vogelsong. Carpenter, a guy who's had 2 shoulder operations and Tommy John surgery. The 2-1. That's ball 3. Former general manager of the Cardinals, Walt Jocketty, who is now in that position with the Reds, one of the best baseball minds in the game today, signed Carpenter while he was hurt, knowing he would miss a season, wanting him for the long haul. There's a strike. Signed in December of 2002, and here he is still pitching for the Cardinals in October of 2012. That's strike 3. The outside corner, first strikeout for Carpenter. Game 2 goes into the 3rd. Beltran first up for St. Louis as we're tied at 1. third inning behind Beltran in front of Alan Craig. Documented that slide at second base, and we'll find out, maybe not in this next at bat, but as this game wears on, if the opportunity presents itself, or later on in this series, if there'll be any retribution by the Giants if they thought that was too much when Scudero was taken out at second base.
Joe, there was an interesting conference between innings. Gary Darling, the crew chief, is the right field umpire. He came in to talk to the second base umpire, Greg Gibson, and also Jerry Lane, the left field umpire. What was interesting about that little confab was that I think they were talking about what happens if San Francisco and Ryan Vogelsong elects to retaliate against Matt Holliday. We'll see. But it was a very astute conference if that was what they were doing.
Pitch is up in the count, 3-1. Beltran was taking a rip for career postseason home run number 15 with a count 3-1. It's now full. Beltran homered last night right-handed. He's got 3 this postseason. All right-handed. Interesting to talk to Beltran and hear his story about learning how to switch hit when he was in pro ball. He was in the minor leagues at Single A with Kansas City
back in '96.
And he was a straight right-handed batter, and he went to his hitting coach. He said, "Teach me how to hit left-handed." The 3-2 is into center field. That ball is in for a base hit. Gets beyond Pagan, and Beltran will make it into second. We'll see how they score it. Either way, a runner at second, nobody out.
Good base running by Beltran, and playing perhaps a little deep was his old buddy with the Mets.
Now batting, left fielder, number 7, Matt Holliday.
So they've been booing Beltran in this series, but moving to public enemy number 1 in the Cardinal lineup for the hometown fans here in San Francisco. Holliday, you could hear the reaction because of that slide. Ball 1 outside. Holliday and Buster Posey talking as Holliday was digging his way into the batter's box. Here's a 1-0. On the outside corner, good pitch, a ball and a strike.
Nobody in this ballpark can appreciate a vicious slide any more than Buster Posey. That's what happened to him to knock him out of last year. That slide on May 26th of 2011.
Here's a 1-1. On the outside corner, strike 2. Here it is. And that vicious slide that shattered the leg. Just hard to watch. Left leg pinned under the body of Posey. This crowd wants a strikeout. Runner at second, nobody out. They'll be satisfied with a pop-up. Belt has the first out.
Joe, when you see a play like Buster Posey, I think baseball has to do more to protect their catchers, like football does to protect their quarterbacks. I think any shot above the waist should be penalized. I think the batter is automatically out. He's kicked out of the game. That's a start, and that causes awareness that if you're going to go into a catcher, you go into him low and not high. If he's blocking the plate, you have as much right to the plate as he does, but you can't go in high to nail him. And that would prevent a lot of injuries with what we know about concussions in this day and age.
Runner at second, now one out. Alan Craig, who hit 400 during the regular season with runners in scoring position to lead the National League, is at the plate. So far this postseason, 8 for 27. 1 home run, 4 RBIs. His home run was a solo shot in Game 2 of the division series. The 1-0 on the inside corner, a ball and a strike. It was ruled a double for Beltran. And that ball that short hop Pagan in right center and got behind him. Pence was there to back up. Beltran now at second, 1 out. So Molina on deck. 1-1 game, 3rd inning, Game 2. Ball 2.
I have talked at length with Bruce Bochy. I've talked with Mike Scioscia, both ex-catchers. Mike, the manager of the Angels. Bruce Bochy agrees with that about not being able to hit a catcher above the waist. Mike Scioscia does not agree with that. He said that's the last vestige of physicality, if you will, that a catcher has.
That's on the corner, 2-2. Scioscia was known as one of the best plate blockers ever.
The Dodgers had 2 in a generation apart. John Roseboro was the toughest I've ever seen in the 1960s. Mike Scioscia was the second toughest I ever saw.
Runner at second, 1 out. 2-2 the count on Alan Craig. Trying to break the tie. Cannot. Struck him out. 2 gone.
Good call by Posey and a good pitch by Vogelsong. Remember, we were talking last night about the best time to jam a hitter is with 2 strikes. Right in on the hands.
Good movement.
You can see the hands brought in. As Molina, a very good hitter. You don't hit 315 without being a good 2-strike hitter. He is.
Ball 1 to Molina, who grounded out. He's now just 3 for 26 this postseason. 115 average for a guy who hit 315 during the regular season.
I said Molina, I meant Alan Craig, of course.
Runner at second, 2 out now, and strike 1 on Molina. That camera and that angle we've been showing you, that super slow motion, is a new camera that shoots 5,000 frames per second. That's what it looks like. First time that camera's been used in baseball, and our great director, Billy Webb, dials it in for you. There's a 1-1. Ball 2. Can't leave out Pete Macheska, our producer. Who's there for us every day during the postseason. This is the NLCS on Fox prior to the World Series on Fox. And the count 2-1 on Molina. Vogelsong steps off. Right side, foul ball. Belt gives it a look, has some room, and makes a great catch. right around that railing.
That's a terrific play by Belk.
And that ends the inning. Vogelsong around a leadoff double with that help. Still tied at 1. Angel Pagan led off the bottom of the first with a home run to right. Here he takes ball 1. Pagan, Scudero, and Sandoval against Chris Carpenter. Here's a 1-0. Inside corner, a ball and a strike. Carpenter with 144 career wins. And I'm sure thought different points this season he wouldn't pitch in 2012 and may not pitch again because he just didn't have any strength in his right arm. Breaking ball, a good pitch for strike 2.
First appearance was September 21st at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Talking to Mike Matheny, the Cardinal manager, before the game, and he was talking about the young arms that he has the luxury of using out of his bullpen and how they've matured so rapidly this season. And he credited leaders on the team, and the first guy he talked about was the man on the mound, Chris Carpenter. Breaking ball, ground ball, freeze, slides, gets the out. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal. Kenny.
Well, Joe, we talked about that surgery. Chris Carpenter lost the top rib in that surgery, and it now sits inside a bathroom cabinet in his home, inside a jar filled with solution. He also lost 2 neck muscles, and yet about a month later, he resumed throwing. Carlos told me, as a teammate, as a friend, you wanted to be supportive, but you were like, are you serious? Well, guys, as you know, Chris Carpenter is rarely anything but serious.
Where are the neck muscles?
I was thinking the same thing. Where are the neck muscles, Ken?
No idea, Tim.
You're a journalist, Kenny. You've got half the story. Cosma takes care of Scudero, 2 out. And Carpenter, who has that jar filled with some sort of solution, I guess, with his rib in it in his bathroom cabinet, is settled into this game now. He's retired 6 straight. He got Sandoval on a pop-up, foul ball out back in the first.
Having it in the bathroom's better than having it in the dining room.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's where the neck muscles are. Over on the sideboard over there. That bounces in. He's still got some neck muscles. Count 1-0. You're going to learn to love that camera, Tim, before the end of this postseason.
Yeah. Well, I like it. Hey.
And it's fair. Down the right field line. Beltran gets to it, and that is a rocket single. As Beltran is very familiar with right field here in San Francisco. He was a Giant last year, played that well.
Telling us that the only guy that he plays toward the line is Marco Scudero. Everybody else he shades toward right center field, including Sandoval. So he had a long way to go to catch up to that carom and hold Sandoval to a single. Good play.
Looked like it went right over the bag for a 2-out single. Ooh, that's pretty close.
Landed foul, but it does not matter where it lands once it goes over the bag. It's if it went over the bag.
So now Posey gets a chance. Runner at first. 2 out. Tie game, 3rd inning. Buster fouled out his first time, and he gets out of the way of ball 1. 90-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1 on a swing by Posey.
I wouldn't live in that area if I were Chris Carpenter. He got away with one down the middle of the plate there.
Posey ready for a 1-1. Breaking ball is hit hard, but right at Cosma. And the force out ends the inning. Let's go to the 4th. Game 2. Another good one in San Francisco, tied at 1. T-Mobile. Test drive our nationwide 4G network. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by E-Trade, works beautifully. Hey, tomorrow, prepare to laugh. An all-new hour of outstanding comedy. First, it's an all-new Raising Hope. Then it's Ben and Kate. The new show USA Today says you really should be watching. All-new comedy starting at 8 Eastern, 7 Central tomorrow here on Fox. As we move to the 4th inning, tied at 1. David Freese first up. Breaking ball's a good one from Vogelsong. Freese fly to right his first time. But a good average this postseason as he's 9 for 26. Strike 2. Freese homered last night. Descalso next, then Cosma. Anybody gets on, the only man with an RBI tonight for the Cardinals, Chris Carpenter, who had a 2-out RBI double in the second to tie it at 1. Here's an 0-2. Posey wanted it up. He got it up, and Freese laid off. The 35-year-old Ryan Vogelsong. Chopper to Scudero. Backs up. 1 out. Get to the game with Chevrolet, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball. Find your chance to win postseason tickets and an all-new Malibu at Chevy.com/tickets. Doesn't really matter which way you point the camera in San Francisco, you're going to get a pretty shot.
What a city. The city by the bay, where cable cars climb halfway to the stars and also carry Joe Buck from a football game to a baseball game.
Scudero, 2 out.
That was a cable car with wheels, I guess.
It was.
Yeah.
That's the more typical version.
What a lovely city, though.
Great walking around city. There's Cosmo. Pete walked and scored his first time up, or row your way around. The 2 out, nobody on. Cosma takes the ball. He worked a walk his first time, and then scored on the double by Carpenter. With 2 out, Cosma gets a big swing for not a big guy. 1-1.
You know, that's what Vogelsong is doing second time through the lineup, better than he did first time through the lineup. He's coming inside to Cardinal right-handed hitters. He did it to Cosma. He did it to David Freese. He got Alan Craig on a strikeout inside. He got Molina out on a ground ball. So Vogelsong and Posey have changed things around second time through the lineup. Back in there.
And a foul out of play for strike 2.
You often hear in baseball that hitters have to make the adjustments. So do pitchers and catchers.
Here's the 1-2 from Vogelsong, down and away. 2-2. Vogelsong, a 14-game winner during the regular season, got a no decision in Game 3 in Cincinnati during the division series, and working well here tonight. Here's a 2-2. Popped up. Scudero. A 1-2-3-4 for Vogelsong. Chris Carpenter back to the hill. He knows what to do out there. In this postseason, he's also known what to do with a bat. Tied at 1. Belt and Gregor Blanco against Chris Carpenter. Tied at 1. Carpenter was our interview guest from the corner of the dugout last night. Not to be outdone because we give equal time. Fair and balanced at Fox. We go down to our left to the Giants dugout. We'll check in with Matt Cain. How's your night going so far down there?
It's going good. Pregame got it started off well, and these guys going again.
1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, we got Pence at the plate. So much has been made about that speech he gave, and then what he does every night in the dugout. Were you moved by the speech?
No, you know what? Actually, I really was. I think a lot of the guys were, because it kind of took you back to when you were in high school. Before football games or baseball games, they always get those good speeches, and I don't know. It was awesome. It was cool for him to be able to step up and do that for only being here for half the season.
Yeah, he told us that he wanted, part of his speech was that he loved you guys and loved playing with you. Didn't want to put pressure on you as he's up on the count here 3-1, but wanted you to play your best so that you could continue on. And he didn't like the feeling of being bounced out of the playoffs last year by St. Louis.
Yeah, definitely. He wanted to keep it going, and I think it motivated us and got us to go out there and maybe even play a little more relaxed. So it was good.
3 balls and a strike. Pence grounds to short for Cosma. Guides it across 1 out. Hey, what's the talk in the dugout about that takeout slide at second base by Holiday?
It looked like it was pretty late. It doesn't look like there's any mark at second, so it was definitely a little late.
It always gets tricky, though. First of all, you're not going to talk about it, so it's silly for me to even ask. But in the postseason, where every at bat, every pitch can mean so much, you start getting into the category of retribution for something like that, you get yourself into trouble.
Yeah, that's always a tough spot. We're just happy that falls. we're just pumped that Scudero's all right. That could have been real nasty.
Here's a double by Brandon Belt with 1 out as he dropped it down the line and left.
That's good base running by Brandon Belt, running hard out of the box, and that allowed him to take the extra base. Holiday near the line, and Brandon Belt is a big guy, but he can run. Had 12 stolen bases this year.
It'll bring in Gregor Blanco, who had a big 2-out, 2-run triple last night. Talking with Matt Cain in the dugout. Matt, you get the ball in game 3. And I know it's always your intention, but it seems more important now than ever for you, the leader of the staff, to go deep into that game 3 in St. Louis.
Yeah, we haven't done a great job of that so far in the first series, against Cincinnati, but the bullpen picked us up. And that's the trust that we have in those guys. But, we definitely want to go deeper as a staff.
Who's behind you right now? Is that Wilson? Who is that?
No, as usual, it's Romo trying to get TV time.
Oh, okay. Here's the 0-1. Chop over the head of Freeze. Belt will hold, and it's first and third, 1 out.
You sounded like you could see that from your angle, Matt.
Yeah, no, I could. You could see that it was gonna get up, just a matter of how much up Freeze had.
So now first and third, 1 out for the shortstop Brandon Crawford, as that got over the glove of Freeze, who did all he could.
That's the advantage of being a guy who can run. Freeze has to play him in, and because of that, the high chopper gets over his head. Had he been playing back normally, he makes the play.
Real quick, then we'll let you go, and we'll get back to doing what we do, and you get back to doing what you do. But tell us real quick about your thoughts on your perfect game that you threw against Houston in June.
I'm still trying to remember a lot of it. For me, it's going to be really great to be able to sit down in the off season and go back through it and enjoy it. I don't think I've let myself enjoy it yet because I was too worried about finishing the season, and then now we're in right now.
Here is Crawford. Strike 1. You can think about it when you're at the halfway house on your round of golf on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in Arizona.
Yeah, I have to make sure to tell my buddy that, hey, remember that perfect game I threw?
Romo behind you is really having fun.
No, that's normal for him. If you just don't pay attention, he's like one of those weird dogs you just don't pay attention to.
Eventually, he'll just go away.
Sooner or later.
0-1 the count on Brandon Crawford. First and third, 1 out. Giants trying to take the lead again. Number 8 man at the plate. Pitcher on deck. 1-1. You got to feel good, though, real quick, then we'll let you go about your bullpen. You mentioned it. You've got Romo behind you. You lost Brian Wilson, who I'm sure you keep your distance from in the dugout. But your group has been good behind you this year.
No, they've been tremendous. They've picked us up in a lot of big key situations. And they've had a lot of craziness going on down there because they really haven't had a lot of roles set. And for those guys to be able to step up in a lot of situations throughout the season has been pretty awesome.
Here's a run scoring. That gets away not far enough. Safe at first. It's Crawford, and the Giants lead 2-1 on 2 infield chops.
Alan Craig did not know who was going to field the ball. Watch him move in to make the play. Carpenter feels it. By the time Craig gets back, he can't find the bag. The ball eludes him. Descalso makes the play, and the Giants take the lead.
They've scored at E1, but an RBI for Crawford. Either way, it's a run for the Giants. Matt Cain will let you go. Thanks for your time.
Definitely. Thanks, guys.
All right. He gets the ball on Wednesday night. It's an error. It's a run. It's a lead for the Giants here in Game 2. Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach, with a quick visit. Carpenter gave up a chopped base hit by Blanco to the left side over Freeze, and now this chopper up the first baseline for an RBI off the bat of Crawford. Now Vogelsong, the pitcher, will be up there trying to advance the runners.
See, if you get the out at first base, you're not in a bunting situation. Vogelsong will try to move the runners along with a sack.
He bunts in the air. Strike 1. On deck Marcus Pagan, who's homered tonight. Vogelsong. His lead runner is Blanco. He can run. He's the lead man at second. The trail runner can run as well, Crawford. Freeze is in at third. You can see Craig in at first. Squaring early and pulling back from ball one is the Giants pitcher Ryan Vogelsong.
Ryan had 8 sacrifices during the regular season. He's a good bunter. Try to bunt the ball down the third base line to make David Freeze field with the ball.
And he fouls another, strike 2. So do they stay with a bunt with 2 strikes?
Yes.
Vogelsong looked down at Tim Flannery, his third base coach. Here's a 1-2. 2-2 as that skips in. Flannery's had a busy night. He started his night by joining in to sing the national anthem. And now he's flashing the signs in that third base coach's box. 2-2 the count. First and second, 1 out. And that bunt is picked up by Craig for out number 2. And the runners advance to second and third. Craig didn't want to take a chance that that ball was going to roll foul. It was headed that direction, but Craig was there, picked it up, tagged him, and a good bunt with 2 strikes by Vogelsong. Second and third, 2 out for Pagan.
Situation, left-handed hitter with first base open. You don't pitch around him here. It's a place to put him, but on deck, he's one of the best hitters in the National League over the last 2 months. 44 RBIs in 2 months.
Breaking ball is hammered foul. Strike 1. Blanco at third, Crawford at second. Pagan could come up with a big hit for the Giants right here. Ball 1. Down the stretch, Pagan from the beginning of August hit 300. Scored 56 runs, the most in baseball. While the Giants went 40 and 21 and wrapped up the NL West. Time called by Molina behind the plate.
Bruce Bochy saying the reason that Pagan has hit better was moving him to the first spot in the order from number 5. That spot, he's not trying to do too much with the ball, and the Giants need for him to do that right now.
Two and 1. Carpenter trying to get through the 4th. Giants have a 1-run lead, a chance for more. Ball 3. Bases loaded.
Beltran, the right fielder, will move toward the right field line. Remember, Beltran telling us before the game the only Giant hitter that he plays toward the line is Marco Scutaro.
Joe Kelly goes down to the bullpen to get loose for St. Louis. But this inning, and who knows, maybe this game is going to come down at the moment to Carpenter and Scutaro. Strike one. Scutaro hit a grand slam August 8th against St. Louis and Mitchell Boggs. It was a 7 RBI night. Carpenter wanted that pitch, didn't get it, a ball and a strike. With 2 out, base hit into left center. 2 runs are going to score. Holiday kicks it, and now 3 runs will score. Scutaro delivers in the 4th.
And that's why you don't pitch around Pregame. Missing over the middle of the plate, and Scutaro has not missed in 2 months.
The reaction by Bruce Bochy, Tim Lincecum, that dugout and this crowd. It's a 5-1 game. It's a single, 2 RBIs, and an error on Holiday and left for the 3rd run to score. That strike makes it 1-1. Pagan scoring all the way from first as Holiday misplayed it to his left. That's hammered, but foul.
Foul splash counts do not count in this ballpark. We said last night 62 have been hit, 36 by Barry Bonds. It is tough to get the ball out of AT&T Park here in San Francisco. Only 103 home runs hit by the Giants all year, the lowest total in the major leagues.
Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Sandoval just stays alive. What a pickup by the Giants to get Marco Scutaro. This one is Freeze to his left to Rob Sandoval. Remember in the first, Scutaro was taken out by Holiday on that slide at second. From the grimace to the euphoria of a base hit into left center. Scoring 3 runs, 5-1. Back after this from your local Fox station. In game 2 like they had in game 1 for the Giants. But tonight it gives San Francisco a 5-1 lead as Vogelsong will deal with a pinch hitter Skip Schumacher. As the night for Chris Carpenter is over. Carpenter goes 4. Allows 5 runs. 6 hits. Strike 2 on Schumacher. 1 strikeout, 2 walks. It's the shortest postseason outing in the career of Chris Carpenter. And it was a 2-out hit by Scudero. It basically ended his night. Ball 1 from Vogelsong.
League Championship Series started back in 1969, and last night, the first time in League Championship history that a starting pitcher for both teams didn't get out of the 4th inning. And again for the Cardinals tonight. Only 4 innings for Carpenter.
That's strike 3. Schumacher strikes out. And we talked last night as we welcome you inside the booth. I'm Joe, that's Tim, about this crowd. They just played Shout from Animal House on the scoreboard here, and this place has been buzzing since the beginning of last night, and they're having a blast here in San Francisco.
Well, I get the feeling, too, that there's some buzz here about the condition of Marco Scudero. After that hit, he limped into second base. Sandoval made the out. He limped into third base. He is not feeling real well right now, but feeling the effects of that slide by Holiday in the first inning.
John Jay flies out to left after the strikeout of Schumacher. And with 2 out, here's Beltran. Aaron Andrews is down by the Giants dugout. Do you have more on Scudero?
Well, he's continuing to do the same thing. Every time he comes in, the training staff is looking at him, and Ryan Theriot keeps shadowing him and saying, do you need me to go out there? You need me to go out there? Keeps shaking his head no.
And for the Giants, a good thing is Scudero delivered with 2 out in the bottom of the 4th. They need his presence in that bat in this lineup. With 2 out, nobody on, the 0-1 to Beltran. Just missed. Shaking out that left leg that was pinned underneath the body of Matt Holliday on that slide back in the 1st.
Yeah, when guys are taken out at second base, that left side takes a beating.
This baseball is beaten into right over the head of Pence. And it'll be another double for Beltran. He's been on base 3 times tonight. And with 2 out, he hopes that starts something for the Cardinals here in the 5th.
Hunter Pence going back as quickly as possible with the ball over his head. That ball didn't have enough height for Hunter to get under it.
Now Holliday. He was the base runner who took out Marco Scudero in the 1st. We talked to Matt Cain moments ago in the dugout. So the feeling at San Francisco dugout was that it was a bit over the line. To paraphrase. As Holliday steps out. Gets back in, and with 1 swing, he could make it a 2-run game. He hit 27 home runs during the regular season, takes a strike.
Talked about Vogelsong coming inside to right-handed hitters that second time through the lineup. This is one right-hander you don't want to do that to. He is a very good inside hitter.
Here's an 0-1. Came inside and he got a pop-up, a jam shot. And the inning is over. Vogelsong is through 5. Here in game 2 with his Giants up by 4. Sponsored by Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball in cities and towns across the country. Tomorrow night on TBS, it'll be Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. Yankees and Tigers in Detroit at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Then on Wednesday, we'll have Game 3 of the NLCS here on Fox from St. Louis. Our coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. So a daytime game on Wednesday. Joe Kelly takes over. He has been really good out of the bullpen. One of the bright young stars for the Cardinals. Hard throwing right-hander. Throws a strike to Buster Posey. Buster tonight 0 for 2. Bottom and the top of the order for the Giants has done the damage. That's foul. Strike 2. Posey won it all as a rookie catcher. Part of that night after night great battery with whoever was on the mound for the Giants back in 2010. That's foul. He was called up in May, took over, and he is loved here in San Francisco for not just what he does, but the way he goes about his business here at the park.
No question that he is the core of this San Francisco team.
Slices one into right. That's a hit. Beltran gets it on the second bounce, and it's a leadoff single for Buster Posey. With 2 strikes, flip one into right. How about more about Buster Posey? Rookie of the Year in 2010. The World Series as a rookie and was a rock behind the plate. Hit cleanup. Broke his left leg May 25th last year. Missed the rest of the season. And how does he follow it up? He comes back with what should be an MVP year. Leading the big leagues in hitting. Number 6 in the NL in RBIs. Pence takes a strike. Hunter with a walk back in the first, grounded out to start that 4-run fourth. For Carpenter, just 2 of the 5 runs were earned. A couple of choppers on the infield. Set up Scudero for the big hit. The 0-1. Strike 2. Pence will chase a lot of pitches off the plate.
We were talking last night, talking about how pitchers throwing things he can't reach.
Struck out 145 times during the regular season. As he got a piece of that Kelly curveball. Still 0-2.
I tell you the one thing he will do, Joe, with the first baseman holding him on, Alan Craig, and second baseman Descalso cheating for the bunt, that hole, or cheating for the double play. That hole on the right side is wide open, and Pence loves to pepper that hole with a man on first.
Here's the 0-2. This one to third. Freeze goes to second for 1. No chance to turn 2. A force out. And it's 1 on, 1 out. So Joe Kelly, Trevor Rosenthal, Shelby Miller, all in the bullpen for the Cardinals. And we'll go down to Ken Rosenthal, Jeff Luna, who's now with Houston, responsible for bringing them to the Cardinal organization.
That's right, Joe. Actually, they were all part of the same draft class in 2009. And this team has 15 homegrown players. And a lot of that is testament to the work of Luna, who, of course, is now with Houston. You look at around their team. Yadier Molina, obviously a longtime Cardinal, homegrown. Craig, Descalso, Jay, Cosmo, all drafted by Luna.
So he's now with the Astros, who next year will be over in the American League West.
Not only great arms on the major league roster, but great arms in the minor leagues, too. They're in line waiting to get to the big leagues. Great young arms for the Cardinals in their minor league system.
That's a ball to Brandon Belt. Kelly deals down and in, 2-0. Belt with a double his first time up, and that double that he hit down the line in left started the 4-run rally. Here's a 2-0 from Kelly. Strike one. 96 from the right-hander. Pence draws a throw. And he had the look like he wanted to take off. The guy behind the plate, Yadier Molina, led baseball throwing out 46% potential base stealers. He can shut down a running game. That's into center, a base hit. And it's 2 on, 1 out. Brandon Belt's 2 for 3.
Second straight hit for Brandon Belt. By the way, talking to Bruce Bochy was Dave Bressner, the trainer. And because of Marco Scudero's assumed condition, you'd have to think that that's who they were talking about.
Scudero last inning delivered with the bases loaded, 2 out, a single into left center. Scored 2, another run scored on an error in a 4-run fourth. Trying to stay as loose as he can down in the dugout. Constantly moving around and shaking out that left leg. Here's Blanco, ball 1. Now pointing at his hip.
Dave Rigetti, the pitching coach, Buster Posey looking on with obvious concern.
Here's a 1-0 to Blanco. He went around, says Ted Barrett. It's 1-1. Two singles in the inning, a force out in the middle of it. Fernando Salas getting loose. Former closer for the Cardinals. Here's a 1-1. Same spot. Blanco lays off it. 2-1. Side, Craig to second, out. No chance to turn 2. Another force out at the second base bag, and the inning will continue for Crawford.
Just over the right shoulder of the sliding Brandon Belt.
Yeah, you get a sense from that camera angle how I think we take those throws for granted, but that's no easy throw.
I've told you before that Eddie Stanky used to say if you stand up going into second base, it really makes the throw a lot more difficult because it doesn't clear for the shortstop to see the ball.
Now Crawford, first and third, 2 out. Brandon 0 for 2, reached on an error. Pretty close. Blanco safe, getting back to the bag. Crawford could have been an infield hit. It was ruled an error on that chopper that Carpenter tried to feed Alan Craig going back to the bag. That allowed the first run last inning to score, and then 3 more later. Hard hit, diving catch by Cosma. What a play by the rookie shortstop. Took an RBI base hit away from his counterpart. A scoreless inning of work for Kelly with a lot of help. 5-1 into the 6th. By Pizza Hut, make it great by Firestone, reminding you that whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. And by Ford, go further. 5-1, the Giants lead. Vogelsong trying to become the first San Francisco pitcher this postseason to go 6th. Works in the 6th, but a new second baseman, what we thought might come to pass has. Ryan Theriot takes over at second for Scudero, who was taken out in the first inning by Matt Holliday, and we'll just have to wait and see how serious that leg injury is. You automatically think lower leg because it was pinned under the body of Holliday, but we've also seen Scudero pointing to his left hip a couple of times. So it could be anywhere on that left leg, and he is out of the game. And a big weapon, at least for the rest of game 2, is lost to Bruce Bochy. Theriot was with the Cardinals last year. The 1-1. Greg fouls it away, strike 2.
One thing the Giants do have, they have a 4-run lead with Scudero, one of their best hitters, one of their best clutch hitters also, out of the game.
Theriot, veteran. but in essence replaced by Scudero. And they picked him up by trade from Colorado. That happened on July 27th. Here's a 1-2 to Craig. That got him. The leadoff man is on for St. Louis here in the 6th.
Trying to come inside with that two-seam fastball that's been so effective tonight. And it rides too far inside and hits the shirt of Alan Craig.
Now Molina. Salas is getting ready for the Cardinals in their bullpen. No action at the moment for the Giants in theirs. Molina, slow roller. Sandoval. Underhand flip for the only out. And the force out with Sandoval feeding Terrio. 1-on-1 out.
Ryan Vogelsong back to his bread and butter tonight, and that's that two-seam fastball that is just wearing right-handed hitters out inside. He has gotten 6 or 7 outs on that pitch.
Been a frustrating postseason so far for Molina. 3 out of 28. Freeze 0 for 2 tonight. 9 for 27 this postseason. Pitch was up and fouled straight back. David Freese takes a strike over the outside edge. 0-2.
Become so aware of that inside fastball that a ball that normally would be Freese's power, that fastball away, is his weakness. Cat and mouse of inside outside for a guy who knows what he's doing, Ryan Vogelsong.
The 0-2. The Giants love the versatility of their bullpen. They've got 3 left-handers, 4 if you want to count Zito. 4 right-handers, 5 if you want to count Lincecum. They're all different, and they've all been effective. But right now it's Vogelsong and his 1-2 pitch. Back inside and fouled by Freese. Chopper to second. Terrio turns and flips for the out. No throw. 2 out in the inning. Here's tonight's State Farm Get to a Better State recap, and we'll recap the night for Marco Scudero. In the first inning, he was taken out by that slide, which the Giants didn't like, by Matt Holliday. Later in the game, in the 4th, a hit that scored 2 and brought home another with an error. And now Scudero's out of the ball game after visiting with the training staff of the Giants. Replaced by Ryan Terrio. State Farm for auto, home, life, and banking. Get to a better state. Here's Descalso, strike 1. And it's been a really good start so far for Vogelsong. Giving the Giants what they needed after losing game 1, 6-4 last night. Freese is on, 2 out in the 0-1. Strike 2. Vogelsong is the first Giant starter this postseason to go 6. Strong through 6, leading 5-1 here in Game 2. Fernando Salas takes over in the bottom of the 6th. Leading it off, one of a couple heroes tonight so far for the Giants, Ryan Vogelsong. Salas, his numbers during the regular season, a guy the Cardinals counted on for much of last year to be the closer. He has been pushed farther and farther into games, and now here's Jay on the run, can't get it. Vogelsong doing everything he can tonight, adds a double to his Game 2 start.
About 2 starting pitchers with doubles in this game. Carpenter to drive in a run in the 2nd inning. Now Vogelsong to drive one over the head of John Jay, who lost his glove in the process.
Matt Cain, the Game 3 starter, and the leader of this rotation now. He'll get the ball on Wednesday afternoon. Here's Pregame. So Salas is greeted with a double by Ryan Vogelsong. Pregame got a good rip, strike 1. What I was starting to say about Salas is the former closer has been now pushed up higher into games innings-wise, meaning in the 5th, 6th, 7th, as he's been passed by harder throwing right-handers out of the Cardinals system and replaced as a closer, and that That happened down the stretch last year with Jason Mott, who saved 42 this year for Mike Matheny. 1 ball, 1 strike on Pagan, who's homered, grounded out, walked, and scored. Vogelsong goes to third. Descalso thought about trying to get the lead runner, but hesitated. Vogelsong didn't get a good break from second, but makes it on a ground ball by Pagan.
And the only reason that Descalso looked toward third was because there was a pitcher running, Vogelsong. He made the right move. That's a dangerous throw that far.
First at bat for Terrio. Watch the break at second by Vogelsong. He kind of hesitated. That's why Descalso thought about it, but then thought better of it. Runner at third, 1 out. The former Cardinal Ryan Terrio. The infield about halfway. And now creeping in. Into center. Jay will make the catch. Vogelsong tags but stays put. And a perfect throw by John Jay. Going to take a hit from Sandoval as Terrio in his first at bat since replacing Scudero, who had 2 more hits tonight, had 2 last night, 2 RBIs, flied out to center, not deep enough.
It's very frustrating for a hitter to do what he wanted to do, as Terrio did. He hit the fly ball in the outfield. Normally it would be deep enough to score the runner, but because the pitcher was on third, he didn't break.
So it's Sandoval with 2 out. Pablo 1 for 3. Switch hitting third baseman facing Salas, ball 1. Good pitch inside from Salas. Strike 1. Vogelsong led off with a double. He's at third with 2 out. And the 1-1 pitch. Strike 2, same spot.
2 good fastballs in on Sandoval.
The young right-hander, Shelby Miller, start to get loose. Here's a 1-2. Struck him out, and the inning is over. Salas gets around that leadoff double. Still 5-1 as we go to the 7th inning, game 2. Giants on top, trying to even the series. Back after this from your local Fox station. Andrews, Eddie George, and Joey Harrington get you ready for kickoff of the Ford Fox College Saturday pregame show, followed by doubleheader action. 20th ranked Stanford takes on Cal in a Pac-10 showdown. Then it's a Big 12 showdown. 4th ranked K-State. As Cosmos leads it off, takes a strike. K-State will take on West Virginia, ranked 13. Coverage of Fox College football presented by Geico. Against Saturday at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific. Cosma takes ball 1. So these are busy weeks for Aaron Andrews, who's with us during the NLCS and will be with us during the World Series, and then zip back to LA and host college football Saturday on Fox with Eddie and Joey. Shelby Miller is getting ready as if he's coming into this game. Cosma on 1-1. The pitcher due up next. Adrian Chambers is in the on-deck circle. How about an update on Marco Scutaro? Here's Aaron.
Well, Joe, get out Twitter. Oh, wait, you're not on anymore. The Giants actually just tweeted that Scutaro is having x-rays done on his left hip. You know, when I was down here, before they took him out, the athletic trainer literally had to pull him out of the cage here in the dugout. He had his gloves on, he had his bat in his hand. He did not want to come out, and then they just told Terrio to get out there and basically said, you're done for the night. So x-rays, we'll let you know if we hear more.
So it is the hip, the left hip. That's what they're looking at. Terrio has taken over, and Scutaro is a big presence for the Giants. Cosma fights it off, and it's still 2-2.
How many right-handed hitters have we seen do that? And this is earlier with Marco Scutaro pointing to his left hip, telling Buster Posey where he was hurting.
Leading off in the 7th, Cosma. That's strike 3. Tailing pitch, strikeout number 4 for Vogelsong.
Here's the strikeout on a fastball away. Boy, is he working both sides of the plate beautifully. Beg your pardon, that was a changeup. And a good one to get Terrio.
4-pitch pitcher, Ryan Vogelsong, who is approaching 100 for the night.
Everybody who's a baseball fan knows that there's a big difference between pitching and throwing. They are seeing the Giants, Vogelsong, as the quintessential pitcher tonight.
Adrian Chambers now batting for Salas, who threw a scoreless 6th and got around a leadoff double. 1 strikeout in there. We'll see another good young right-hander, Shelby Miller, for the Cardinals in the bottom of the inning. Chambers takes strike 1. There's Shelby, who Cardinal fans heard a lot about in his trip through the minor league system. Finally came up. He's been good so far. That's strike 2. Velocity really has not dropped from the beginning for Vogelsong. He's been right around 91 all night.
And his control with that fastball has just been perfect.
2-2. Pretty good swing by Chambers, who has made his biggest mark as a pinch runner for the Cardinals the last 2 postseasons. Pretty good swing. He can run despite all the gold around his neck. Doesn't weigh him down. Jeremy Affeldt, the left-hander, will get loose. Jay on deck, the lefty. Here's a 2-2. Terrio has to hurry and gets Chambers 2 out.
Well, we talked about how Vogelsong has been wearing out right-handed hitters of the Cardinals inside. Alan Craig going down on strikes. You see a good shot with our Ultramo. That is Matt Holliday, Yadier Molina. Talk about a guy using both sides of the plate. He is doing that tonight.
And has delivered for the Giants in what just felt like a must-win game for them after dropping game 1. I know they came back after losing the first 2 at home to Cincinnati, but not the formula you want to try and repeat, as this series will shift to St. Louis on Wednesday. Vogelsong doing as much as he can to make sure the series is tied. Strike 1 on John Jay, who's 0 for 3. Now Casilla, the right-hander, will join Affeldt. To the right side. Again, an inside delivery. Terrio hangs with a bad hop and gets John Jay. And this crowd saluting Vogelsong on his way off in the middle of the 7th. What an effort. And now we join public address announcer Rennell Brooks Moon for the introduction of God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps as we honor America and our military troops around the world with the singing of God Bless America. We now welcome the former lead vocalist of Tower of Power, Lenny Williams.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the valleys, or the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
Cheers for Ryan Vogelsong, who has just been spectacular this evening. Only 4 hits allowed and 1 run. Nice job is right, Ryan.
friend at Fox, Jack White. And off his album Blunderbuss, I'm Shaken. Here is Shelby Miller pitching to Buster Posey. Miller just turned 22. Posey is 25. Youth is served here in the bottom of the 7th of game 2. First round pick, 19th overall, Shelby Miller from Houston, Texas. Has made a rapid ascent through the Cardinal organization, and he can bring it. 96 on the fastball. It's 0-2.
Youth is serving baseball very well with the introduction this year of Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, 2 guys representing their leagues very, very well. What players and what a future.
Got Posey looking. 95-mile-an-hour fastball right at the knees. 1 out. Tonight's game is sponsored by the Samsung Galaxy S3. The next big thing is already here, and by Bank of America, the official bank of Major League Baseball. Vogelsong exits as Pence comes up empty, strike 1. Casilla and Affelt, who were warming last inning, are getting up now. Popped up right side for Descalso. 2 out. Game summary is brought to you by Liberty Mutual. 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Angel Pagan has 2 leadoff home runs this postseason. First got to do it, Jimmy Rollins. So he's the second with that. He led off in the first against Carpenter with a home run to right. Scudero had another 2-hit night, but left with a left hip problem. And then Vogelsong has been outstanding on the mound. He's gone through 7. He's allowed only 4 hits. And he even chipped in with a double leading off in the 6th. Great arm action by Shelby Miller. And as Mike Matheny described to us before the game, comes right over the top and has a good downward plane with his fastball. Tough to hit. As the Reds found out, final game of the season, in a game that didn't matter, Shelby Miller held him without a hit through 5. Strike 2.
Hitters describe a pitcher like that as a guy who's throwing downhill, and Miller does it very, very well. The ball is on top of you. Even though you're looking for the fastball, it's on top of you before you're ready for it. Great extension.
Popped up behind the plate. Molina will watch it head into the seats. Still 1-2 on Belt, who's had a nice night, 2 for 3. Here's the motion of Shelby Miller.
That's a 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour.
How about 312 strikeouts in 3 seasons in the minor leagues? His stuff in the lower minor leagues was just too good for the hitters he was facing. 2-2 the count on Belt.
You know, the best introduction of a first-year player from the minor leagues was Dwight Gooden to me. In 1984, he came up to the big leagues after striking out 300 in 190 innings in 1 season.
Unbelievable. How about Shelby Miller? Strikes out 2 in his NLCS debut. We'll go to the 8th. Game 2, 5-1, San Francisco. box score for the Cardinals, brought to you by Geico. Not many hits, 4 total, 2 doubles for Beltran, the only RBI by the Cardinals starting pitcher Chris Carpenter. And here tonight, the starter for the Giants, Ryan Vogelsong, is finished after 7. 1 run on those 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, a hit batsman. And Affelt is into the game to pitch to Beltran with Casilla up for the Giants in their bullpen here in the 8th. 5-1 San Francisco, trying to even this best of 7 series before everybody heads to St. Louis. Here's a 1-0 popped up. Terrio goes out. Pence comes in. Terrio has it 1 out. Beltran retired for the first time tonight. Who will become a legend this October? Cast your postseason legend vote at MLBFanCave.com. And now these fans aware that slide by Holiday in the first inning cost Scudero the second half of this game. Placed by Terrio.
The boos have increased with each at bat.
1 out, nobody on. Holiday takes the ball. Matt 1 for 3. Got on in the first inning with a hit. Here's a 1-0. Good pitch from Affelt, who hits 92 for strike 1. The bottom of this 8th, the Giants will have the bottom 3 in their lineup. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ball 2. Holiday had 27 home runs during the regular season, 7th highest RBI total in the National League at 102. Checks on Terrio. And Ryan makes the play 2 out. Bases empty for Alan Craig. Craig tonight hit by a pitch his last time up and just grazed his uniform top. Struck out in the 3rd, bounced into the force out that led to that takeout slide at second base in the 1st. Affelt talking to himself as he prepares to pitch to Craig. That was a big part of their win back in 2010. The numbers coming into this game in 2010, the starting pitching through 6 games in the postseason. The world champs in 10 was 3-1, 42 innings pitched, and a 1.71 ERA. So far this year in 6 games before Vogelsong, an ERA of 6.5. Wow. But Ryan Vogelsong turned that around tonight. And his Giants lead the Cardinals 5-1 into the bottom of the 8th. Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy? By the all-new Dodge Dart. Dodge, new rules. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Bottom of the 8th inning, Gregor Blanco is first in against Shelby Miller. We've had a 1-2-3-7. Cardinals in the 9th will have Molina, Freeze, and Descalso. Trailing by at least 4. Ball 1. Strike 1. The closer for the Giants, with a beard that's just a little less impressive than Brian Wilson's. Sergio Romo gets loose.
That's a stipulation for closers in San Francisco, the beards.
Wilson's is becoming
unruly.
Yeah, legendary. It already was. Fear the beard, all that in 2010. But there's no telling what's in there. There's a bell time pitch for a strike. Blanco didn't agree, and it's 2-2. And you can see why he thought it was high. So the rookie gets a break there, and now time called prior to the pitch. There it is.
If Brian Wilson was pitching, a ball in his beard would be a ground rule double. They'd never find it.
Here's a 2-2. Saw him on the way out of the park last night. He was on a scooter. I said, "Hey man, how you doing?" "Outstanding." He's got his fingernails painted
red. I know on his right hand. I'm not sure about his left. Talk about a character.
That's ball 3. That's foul. You might find Andre Dawson in that beard. Like in the commercial if you started rooting around in there. What year is it? He is just a walking reality show.
You know, the one guy, he's got a good beat though. The one guy who really enjoys us showing that who's watching tonight, Bill Lee.
Yeah.
The ex-left-hander for the Boston Red Sox, the Montreal Expos et al., and a great guy. But I'll guarantee you, Bill Lee's watching this game right now. I don't know if he's ever met Brian Wilson, but those are two guys in the same pod.
Look at the concentration on his fingers as he taps on top of the hat. That's high, a leadoff walk. Tomorrow night on TBS, Game 3 of the ALCS. Great pitching matchup. Verlander and Sabathia at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And on Wednesday, Game 3 of the NLCS here on Fox from St. Louis. Our coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. And a good pitching matchup. Loesch had a great year. Free agent to be. Matt Cain has been inked to a long-term deal, and he is as good as they get on the right side in the National League. He'll get the ball on Wednesday.
The bigger the game, the better he is.
The year they won it all in the postseason in 2010. He didn't give up an earned run.
No.
The entire postseason. Mark Zepchinski gets loose. We heard from Kenny Rosenthal earlier about future rotation plans for Bruce Bochy. It's worth going back to that, a check on Blanco. And pretty interesting conversation we had, Kenny, with Bruce Bochy before the game.
Yes, Joe, and what he said was that he did not want to use Lincecum tonight, Tim Lincecum, and of course Vogelsong going 7 innings enabled that to happen. So how does this set up going forward? As you just said, Matt Cain in Game 3, and Bochy said the likely scenario is that Lincecum and Barry Zito will pitch 4 and 5 in some order. Madison Bumgarner, well, Bochy says he's still confident in him, but Bumgarner, after that game last night, in his comments to reporters, did not sound at all confident, said his stuff is not good, he's not throwing the ball where he wants, how he wants it, so a change could be in order.
And that caught the attention of his manager, Bruce Bochy. And so maybe you go, as Kenny just said, Lincecum and Zito, the Giants have won the last 12 Barry Zito starts. Fastball swung on and missed by Crawford. And he's in the hole 0-2 with a runner at first, nobody out.
Tell you, that would be a dicey move, in my opinion. Because you've got a guy like Bumgarner who won 16 games during the season. Zito won 15, sure, but all things considered equal, who would you rather have on the mound, Bumgarner or Zito? And that's what Bruce Bochy will have time to determine.
And as Ken mentioned last night, he's not naming any starters beyond Game 3 just to keep his options open and not paint himself into a corner. So he's been through this before many times with the Padres, with the Giants. The Cardinal rotation is easy to figure out. Nothing and 2 on Crawford. Ball 1. It'll be Loesch in Game 3 for St. Louis, then Wainwright in Game 4, coming off a rough start in Game 5 of the division series. Then back to the front of the rotation with Lynn in Game 5 on Friday. And you've got Carpenter and Loesch. Wainwright then would get only 1 start. He's coming off Tommy John surgery, and they want to limit how much work he gets. Runner goes, and a ball into right center field. That ball is caught by Jay, and this will be a double play if Craig can make the tag, and he can't.
Mike Matheny already out of the dugout saying he went out of the baseline to avoid the tag. And all the players are saying the same thing. A brilliant play by John Jay.
Wow.
With the backhand right on the ground. Blanco had gone around second base. And now Alan Craig and everybody on the Card infield are saying that he was out of the baseline. And now first base umpire Bill Miller will get help from Greg Gibson.
Meanwhile, Craig is saying he tagged him. And it looked like he got him on the back.
Yeah, he did.
We're going to get a conference now with the umpires. And he got him on the back.
He surely did.
Should be a double play. Miller had a great view of it, but didn't see it. And if somebody else saw something different, then they'll call him out. If not, it'll be 1-on-1 out. And nobody saw it.
And of course, that is not reviewable. Mike Matheny arguing, but Bill Miller, I beg your pardon, Greg Gibson, the second base umpire, would have had the best shot at it, but he was out in center field making sure that John Jay made the catch, which he did.
And Matheny is still letting Bill Miller hear it. Take a look at the positioning of the umpires. Greg Gibson, the second base umpire, he stays put. He's right there. And so he didn't see it, and Bill Miller didn't see it. And instead of a double play with Jay to Alan Craig, it's 1-on-1 out after another fantastic catch by John Jay. Cardinal fans are getting used to seeing that. He has blossomed into one of the game's best center fielders as Aubrey Huff will come off the bench to bat for Affeldt through a perfect 8th.
Not only a fine play by John Jay, but a play on which some outfielders have been hurt. jamming that thumb into the ground. That backhand catch right against the ground, very, very difficult for any athlete or outfielder to make. It's a dangerous play for an outfielder.
Didn't even catch it cleanly, just held it in the edge of his glove and then got that wrist out of the way at the end of that dive.
You know, Joe, from that, it looked like he had half a hand in his glove and not all the way in.
We saw him lose his glove on that ball hit by Vogelsong, reaching for it in the 6th over his head. He does not keep that glove all the way on his hand. 1 on, 1 out. Blanco had a big lead and draws a throw.
There it is right there. You can see his palm. And of course, by wearing it halfway on your hand, that extends the glove and gives you a little extra chance on balls like that.
Huff pops up down the left field line. A long run for Freese. That's a fair ball. Freese had to navigate around the umpire, Jerry Lane. Holiday wasn't close to it, and Freese just let it go. And it was a fair ball.
Yeah, that ball's got to be caught. Aubrey Huff. Looked to me like when a ball has that much hang time, it's the left fielder's ball. It's much easier making that play for the outfielder coming in than for the infielder going out.
So a base hit, a single. And now Pagan could blow this thing wide open with 2 on, 1 out. And the rookie Shelby Miller, who could be out of the inning, is still on the mound. Pagan is homered tonight. Good breaking ball from the 22-year-old, strike 1. Here comes an 0-1. Fastball misses, ball 1. What an experience for this kid, 22 years old, called up at the end of the year. And he replaced Jaime Garcia, the left-handed starter for the Cardinals, on the active roster when Garcia hurt himself in Game 2 of the division series. The 1-1. Strike 2.
We ran into Jaime Garcia before the game in the Cardinals clubhouse and asking him if he's going for another opinion, and he's going to Dr. James Andrews on Wednesday for a 4th opinion and expects to have that left shoulder have surgery.
Runners at first and second, 1 out. Breaking ball into left center. Base hit. That'll load the bases as Blanco did not get a good start from second. And the second hit of the inning for the Giants.
I think Blanco went for the fake too. Watch John Jay put the glove up as though he were going to make the catch. Blanco did not have a good read. That freezes him right there and can only go to third.
So the bases are loaded with Terrio, the right-handed hitter, coming up. Zepchinski in the bullpen. Right at the top of the hour here in San Francisco. Beautiful night, 62 degrees. That's us, Joe, Tim, Kenny, and Aaron at AT&T Park. And this crowd has been loud all night. Terio's second at bat since taking over for the injured Scudero. Good breaking ball for strike one. On deck, the switch hitting Sandoval with Zepchinski in the bullpen. Here's the 0-1. Strike two. It's Guillermo Mota. He'll join Romo if this inning gets out of hand. And the lead increases. It's 4 now. Terrio trying to add to it. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled back. Game 3, a late afternoon game in St. Louis on Wednesday. Giants trying to even the series. Got great work tonight from Ryan Vogelsong, their starter. Breaking ball fouled away.
Terrio fighting off some good pitches from Shelby Miller,
who the Cardinals are trying to convince to stay in St. Louis during the offseason. Chris Carpenter will tutor and work out with Trevor Rosenthal, their hard-throwing right-hander, during the offseason. They want Shelby Miller to think about doing the same thing. Here the runners on with 1 out in the 0-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit. Blanco scores. Here comes Huff. 7-1.
That was a good job by the third base coach, Tim Flannery, even though Aubrey Huff had delayed at second base on that line drive because it was close to being caught by Pete Cosman. He waved him home anyway, and David Freese cut the ball off, but you can see Huff delaying, and the throw by Holiday was just offline and cut off by David Freese.
Shelby Miller knocked out in his second inning of work. Zepchinski coming in. Sandoval coming up. They're having fun in San Francisco, leading by 6. Cosma, and that started a celebration from the Giants dugout. Terrio who delivered, and this crowd went crazy as Zepchinski takes over, 2 on 1 out. The batter is Sandoval, who flies it to right. Beltran back to his left. The runner's tag. Advancing to third is Pagan.
That was really a gritty at bat by Ryan Terrio. 6 pitches, and on the 6th he lined one to left center field, but there was not a ball thrown in that sequence. 6 straight strikes.
By the way, I want to clean something up that I said earlier in the matchup in Game 3, the Yankees and Tigers. I had read Sabathia, but it's going to be Phil Hughes. So the climb for the Yankees down 2-0. Start the middle part of that series in Detroit with Hughes, not Sabathia, on short rest against Verlander. The reigning AL Cy Young and MVP award winner, 17-game winner, and a guy who clinched Game 5 in the division series. But he did it the day before the Yankees and Sabathia took care of Baltimore. So he had the extra day. He gets the ball in Game 3 against Phil Hughes on TBS tomorrow night.
Verlander just off the clincher across the bay in Oakland. Game 5 of the division series. We talked about the Athletics earlier. What an entertaining team they were this year, with an entertaining crowd, just like here in San Francisco.
First and third, 2 out here, and 2 strikes from Zepchinski to Buster Posey, who has 1 hit tonight. 1 for 7 in this series so far. A strikeout ends the inning, but an inning in which the Giants get a couple more. Lead by 6 as we go to the 9th inning here in Game 2. The closer for the Giants likes to have fun, and we've seen him already in this series. He already photobombed Aaron Andrews in game 1. Tonight, he was messing around behind Matt Cain during the interview in the 4th inning. But now he's all business as he takes over in the 9th, up 7-1. Trying to even this series with the Giants in 1 game apiece. Yadier Molina first up. Strike 1. Bruce Bochy during the course of the year has had many different pitchers close games, but it has now settled as Romo's job. Strike 2.
They've had 5 pitchers close 3 or more games as Bruce Bochy this year. That's the most closing 3 or more since the Cardinals did it back in 2001.
Romo got the final outs in Cincinnati to get the Giants into this NLCS game 5. And his 0-2 pitch up the middle, a base hit for Molina, who is 1 for 4 on the night, and that's his 2nd hit of this NLCS.
That's one of the rare times that you will see Sergio Romo throw 3 straight pitches without throwing the slider. 3 straight fastballs. Molina singles up the middle. I would imagine he'll go to that slider right now.
David Freese digs in. 0 for 3 tonight, 1 for 7 in the series.
Romo throws that slider about 75% of the time. So 3 out of 4 pitches, most of them are sliders.
In the air to right, easy for Pence. 1 out. And Freese is 0 for 4. It'll bring in Descalso. Descalso now, Cosma next. Descalso the one who got the game-tying single up the middle in D.C. in Game 5, 9th inning against the Nationals. The guy on deck won it with a hit into right. Ball 1. Descalso was struck out, grounded out, and popped up. That's ball 2. Strike 1. 87-mile-per-hour delivery from Sergio Romo. This Giants team lost their closer and that big personality of Brian Wilson in April. It's a big role to fill, and they've had many do it. And here's the 2-1. Slowly hit. Can't turn 2. Game continues. A force out at second. And Cosma will try to extend it. But this crowd has had enough for one night. They want it to end right now. The end of the bat, strike 1. Cosmo the walk, a run scored, 0 for 2. Trying to bring up Matt Carpenter, who's in the on-deck circle and would bat for Zepchinski. Good breaking ball. Strike 2. Giants take game 2 and even this series at 1. The receiving line in the middle of the diamond, a 3-hour, 10-minute game, and Ryan Vogelsong, who gave the Giants 7 strong innings tonight, is the winner. Chris Carpenter suffers the loss.
He lifted the Giants with low fastballs.
And worked the Cardinal right-handed hitters inside all night.
Yep.
Romo's reaction to that game-ending strikeout. Celebration in the outfield. The Giants make their way off the field, into the clubhouse, onto the buses, onto a plane, and on to St. Louis for Game 3 Wednesday afternoon. Angel Pagan started this night offensively with a home run for the Giants, and he's standing by with Aaron Andrews.
Angel, following your home run, you really ran the bases with a lot of emotion. The hit that Marco Scutaro took, how did it affect this team?
Oh, big time. I mean, I said it before, early runs in this game, in the postseason are very important. We put one in the board, they tie it up, and then we put like a few more in the fourth, and that's very important. That was the key for us to win tonight.
Matt Cain said on our air he thought Matt Holliday's slide was over the line. How did you see it?
Well, I haven't seen the video. I mean, you got to play the game hard. I don't know if it was dirty or not. I'm sure he was playing the game, hard, as hard as he could. He hurt Scutaro a little bit, but I mean, we're coming back tomorrow and play hard.
Well, actually, you're coming back. Tomorrow's a travel day. You got the bats going. Ryan Vogelsong, great outing. How does this affect the team now heading to St. Louis?
Oh, it was unbelievable. It was fun to watch. It was very tough tonight. All his pitches were, right in the zone, hitting the corners and getting hitters off balance, and that was the key for him tonight.
Thank you so much. And, Joe, by the way, we did ask to speak with Marco Scutaro. He's actually on his way to the hospital now to get an MRI. Send it back up to you.
All right, that's big news for the Giants, who have really enjoyed the presence of Marco Scutaro at second base and in their lineup. He is a big part of their success. How about Vogelsong tonight? There's Scutaro. 2 more hits for Marco. An early home run for Pagan. The Giants take game 2, their first home playoff win this postseason. Back after this.